Hello, everybody. Just thought I'd come say hi. As you can see, my room is a bit of a mess right now because I'm wrapping Christmas presents and whatnot. And these are just a bunch of boxes that I'm using for. Here's my brother Brandon.
Yo,
So, how you doing?
I'm good. Excited for Christmas. Nursing school's going good. About to go do a podcast on Christmas Eve with you, with a buddy of mine. Um, Trying to keep the dog and the cat from fighting, and I'm about to have dinner.
Yeah, just enjoying life,
Mm-hmm.
spending time with one another, with our family, and you know, living life,
Heck yeah.
living life, not living in fear because of this whole pandemic nonsense.
Yeah, arguing with people on Facebook about like the nonsense of the vaccine, or at least trying to get people to critically think, and they're just when you blindly accept it, but just because the government says so, like it's a problem, man.
It
They
really
just
is.
like I'm getting like bombarded by a bunch of people that just blindly accept it just because the government said so. Like the same kind of mentality, like, oh, if the government said it must be okay, or like, or if that was true, it'd be all over the news and TV. It's that kind of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Is just like the worst kind of thinking. It's like
Yeah.
the shallowest mind thinks like that.
Yeah, it's very true, and I've said this many times. Sometimes I post it on Twitter because I'm pretty active on Twitter, even though it's drivel,
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally I post a couple of nuggets that pop out of this little thing here. The cranium, the thing
The
between my ears.
the noggin.
Um, but I've said many a time, we are supposed to be able to trust the systems that we've put in place. We've put them in place. We put them in place for law and order to act as a rampart against chaos, against, even though this word has been used as a disparaging term. It's not disparaging, but anarchy. Um, and what evil does is it uses your greatest strengths against you. If you've ever seen the movie Magnificent Seven, let's talk about the new one, the one with Chris Pratt in it. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was great. Okay, but the main villain in that movie acts like he is a Bible thumping Christian, right? He is completely evil though. Kills people all the time and just like he wants to dominate and control everyone. Kind of reminds me of Pelosi. Anyway,
Oh, you mean Gavin Newsom's aunt?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's something that we can talk about in a little bit, but um, that's what true evil does. It uses your structures against you, okay, and tries to make morality, law and order, and your restraint a disadvantage. That's true evil. But the way to defeat that is you have a standard. So that means once it reaches a certain threshold of intolerability, I think that's a word, then you say, okay, we're done. You can no longer associate with me. I can no longer associate with you. This relationship needs to end right now. I call it a constitutional divorce. But you can call it what you want. That's exactly what's happening right now. So our faith in the medical professionals that are telling us about what's going on with this pandemic, as well as our structures and our government writ large, is being used against us. The economy is doing okay. At least if you look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average and you look at the unemployment rate. But if you look at how people are reacting with or relating with one another, talking with one another, their interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships, those are decaying. They're kind of being turned into automatons now more than ever in a lot of ways. But part of what prevents that is knowing that's what they're trying to do to you. The they being George Soros et al. But anyway, what do you think?
I agree with all that. Um, couldn't have said it better. Um, that's I have a hard time like wording what I'm thinking about right now. But all I can do is really agree with you on what you have to say.
Well, what would you do?
I mean, just what would I do? Just remove all these negative people from their positions of power and let people know more, and try and get people to critically think more about the issue at hand rather than just blindly accepting it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just they're so ready and willing to just accept what they're being told on TV because they don't want to think, because thinking's hard, and they don't want to do it. They want people in power to think for them, and so they just trust them blindly because they're comfortable and they don't want to be uncomfortable.
That's
They've also been like, you know, bought off and paid for by cell phones that make pancakes, and nobody wants to rock the boat either.
that sounds like George Carlin.
It is George Carlin. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah. I couldn't have said it better. I say that pretty often, actually. Like, everyone has been bought off by cell phones that can make pancakes, and nobody wants to rock the boat. So yeah, that's why you see people blindly accepting authority as truth rather than truth as authority, and that's why we're in the position we are now. And the basically buying off the American people while slowly eroding their rights is just going to get worse. Especially with the chemical dumbing down of citizens through chemicals in what we eat and drink, and the social engineering of the media through Twitter and social media, basically what's it called, making abnormal things normal, and making crazy things not crazy, and making abnormal things normal and normal things seem crazy and abnormal. And that is just like one step towards further destabilization of like, you know, society, and the society that we have. And the further you can like destabilize and weaken a society like that, the more control the government can have over the people. So the weaker populace, mentally and physically, and culturally, they are, obviously the easier they are to control. So that's the intent here, and obviously we can. I only say that because the pattern is so apparent.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
Why?
Painfully obvious.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that it's like a play?
Like they just do it in plain sight and they don't care, and it's like a play?
Doing it in plain sight, doing it in an obvious manner, almost as if they're very bad method actors. Like they're you remember the scene in the outtakes of Liar Liar where the woman yells at Jim Carrey, "Overactor!"
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you're Jim Carrey overacting everything.
Was she fucking with him, or did she mean that?
Well, she probably at least partially meant it, but they were friends.
Oh, okay.
You know, but she was like just trying to keep up with him in his
mania.
in his mania and jest, right?
Yeah.
And said, "Overactor!"
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It cut off, and they cut the scene because that you obviously aren't supposed to say that,
yeah,
right?
Fourth wall.
Yeah, it's breaking the fourth wall.
But you know, to answer your question, why do you think it's like so open and obvious and like a play? It's because they don't. I think that the ruling power doesn't care that it's so blatantly obvious anymore, because they know that people won't do anything about it, because they know they're so conditioned to just accept it, and they could just literally just like throw like the book of all the things they're doing, like the book of knowledge of literally every horrible thing that they're doing and have done, in people's face. Somebody fart? Dog fart? They could throw it in the face of the people, and they know they would do nothing. And the fact that they would do nothing. Did you fart?
No.
I
wouldn't fart on stream.
And the fact that they will do nothing not only like further encourages them to carry on, but it also further it causes further disdain in them of us, I figure. Because if you have like a people, I can see why. It's thinking of a psychopath. If you're dominating somebody and they just continuously let you do it, you start to hate them.
Yeah.
Hate them for their weakness. hate them because they're so lesser than you. That's that's the mentality of a psychopath.
It's as if they're trying to prove their philosophy.
Which is?
That they're a very low opinion of us.
Yeah.
They're trying to prove themselves correct, prove that we're not going to do anything. And that's the barter, that's the deal with the good guys.
Well, they're cheating.
Well, they're cheating, exactly.
Yeah, they're cheating. They're making it happen.
They're forcing it.
Yeah.
Society is saying no, and the thing is, we're disproving their philosophy, and they're trying to force the philosophy to still be correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the divorce has to happen, because clearly you guys have no standard. You know, part of your standard is to just force it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's compulsion. That's control and power.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally what it is. You struck the chord when you said that. That's literally what it is. That's why they're being so obvious. And you see the political pundits and the journalists out there not saying this, right?
No.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
My brother Brandon is completely correct on that. This is part of their philosophy. So you want to prove to them that their low opinion of us is incorrect, then you have to push back and stop. The frustrating thing about it is that our structures are there for us. We built them to be able to trust them. And part of these evil bastards' philosophy is that we can be controlled so easily no matter how obvious they make it.
Mm-hmm.
And when in reality, that's just our restraint. Our restraint is you wait and you play the game by the rules, and you beat them at their own game, and let the rules and the law play out. You do that. And then you have all legal justification to do what it is that you're going to do. All right? But here's the thing. Once we do that, and we're pretty much at the precipice of it, these people are so evil, they're not going to accept it. While you beat them at their own game, they're not just going to say, okay, you beat me. I will exit stage left. No, they're going to attack. That's kind of what this was, this pandemic. We were beating them. We are beating them. They just absolutely refuse to accept it. And this whole thing was them trying to grab back control and say, no, you guys really are controllable. Nope, we're not. We have free will. All of us, right?
Yeah. There's quite a lot of us too, so it's not as easy as they like it to be. That's why population control is a thing. So yeah, and you say that they're evil. A lot of them. Don't like, but whether or not they are, I don't think that they fully consider themselves as evil, or they don't see it that way.
Of course they don't.
They probably figure that they are. Well, they're elites and they practice rituals to like try and relieve themselves of a conscience because they feel like they're more psychologically evolved or more consciously evolved if they can release themselves of a conscience. And so like the elite practice rituals such as the cremation of care and things of that nature to try and, do a horrible thing and then get rid of their conscience so they can act without conscience and basically get rid of the line of good and evil, and they can just act however they will for whatever ends that they are trying to meet.
Mm-hmm.
That being said,
the road to hell was paved with good intentions.
Exactly, and they don't see it as evil. They don't, or if they do, they don't know it. Or if they are evil, it's the worst. There's a third one which I find this to be the worst form of it. Is that they are consciously aware that they are evil and they choose to do so anyway.
Yep.
And they understand exactly what the difference between good and evil, and they just
There are some that are like that.
They simply not because they are compelled to do it because of some emotion or or they have some hatred or some other some terrible emotion or something like that driving them. They just understand that it's evil. They simply choose to do it anyway.
Well, let's think about when Bill Gates was laughing about creating the vaccine in a potential second wave of the pandemic. He was laughing in an interview, he was excited about it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's because in his mind, At least this is my perspective on it. He was thinking to himself, you guys really are stupid and controllable. Watch, I'm going to prove it to
That's
you.
why they, there you go. There's
Mhm.
the evidence that they simply they look down on us so hard that they hate us.
Mhm.
And I feel like, I mean, I'm gonna give like my own personal opinion here. Like, I feel like the person in power or the people in power are kind of like the guy from Silence and the
Mhm.
Lambs, the guy like puts lotion on the skin guy. I feel like
Yep.
it's that kind of guy that's running the shit.
So a schizophrenic.
Yeah,
Mm.
like somebody who's like born into like wealth and power and um, has never known like hardship or anything like that, like a normal person, and they were, I don't know, just somebody born into the extreme extravagance and decadence that, and they were developed and not developed fairly poorly, and then all of a sudden thrown into power, that then they have to listen to what he has to say because he's the guy, you know.
Mhm.
And then more and more leaders are like him, you know, and
And see, here's one of the things, one of the frustrating aspects of this is that these bastards rely on us explaining this, right, to you, being part of the gaggle of individuals that are below, quote unquote, the elites. It's nonsense. They're the castle that they're trying to grasp is going to crumble as if sand in their hands when they get a hold of it. I'll just say that. But they rely on people like me and my brother to explain it to you, anybody who is going to watch it, so that they can say to themselves, see, you guys knew and you still let it happen. No, that's not the way this works. So if Bill Gates is watching right now, I'm not important enough for him to do that, but if he were, you can go screw yourself. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is you're a piece of shit, and you're trying to manipulate us, and it's not working. And we have proven your philosophy to be incorrect. Go away.
yeah, he's a horrible
Leave
person.
us alone. If you're, whatever your philosophy in existence is, go away. And if you're not going to go away, you're going to get thrown in prison. And people like you, like the word that cannot be named, but it's spelled Soros. All right?
All that being said, Peyton,
Throw them in prison.
thank you for having me on, Peyton. I'm going to go have dinner. And thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Not going to use our systems against us. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.